Occurred, the 25th of June 2010, 22 hours 20 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Granger, in, USA. Shape, light duration: 1 minute. No of observers. 4 characteristics: lights on object, bright red light over Granger. In, we live in a neighborhood in the county, away from town. We're right where the Indiana and Michigan state lines meet, and also where St. Joseph and Elkhart counties in Indiana meet. There were no clouds in the sky, and it was about an hour after sunset. We were outside doing fireworks for the kids when my daughter said, "Look, a UFO." I thought she had seen a plane, but when I looked, there was a very bright red light in the east, less than 10 degrees above the horizon, and I would guess about 5 miles from us. The light moved from east to west, right toward us. It only took about 20 seconds to get to us, and it grew in size very quickly. At its closest, I'd say it was the size of a dime held at arm's length. There were no flashing lights, but it was giving off a very bright red light from what appeared to be inside. It was the most incredible red, like a massive Christmas tree light, but it didn't really flicker. It wasn't just a glowing light because we could see there was some structure to it by the way the light didn't come from beneath it. There was no sound at all, even at its closest, which I'd guess to be less than 1/2 mile away. After it got to its closest point to us, it changed direction and turned 90 degrees to its right and headed north over southern Cass County, Michigan. An airplane would have had to make an arc to change direction. This thing simply stopped moving west and started heading north. We clearly knew it wasn't a meteor, which would have been much faster, and kept going straight. I went into the house to get the video camera, but I couldn't find the buttons to start it up. Within 20 seconds after it turned, the object was out of sight. As it flew away, it appeared to rise a little in the sky, and the light rapidly grew faint as it flew away. My wife tried to get pictures with her still camera, but we captured nothing. All 4 of us are absolutely certain it wasn't an airplane or helicopter, by the way it moved, the bright red light, and the fact there was no sound even as close as it got to us. We have no explanation.
Occurred, the 4th of July 2008, 12 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Granger, Mishawaka, Indiana, USA. Shape, changing duration: 3 minutes. No of observers. 4 characteristics: lights on object, changed color, it kept blinking and turning off. It was on July 4th, so it might have been a firework. Well, there were a lot of them. We know one was seen in Mishawaka and one in Granger, so they didn't make any noise, so we figured it was an UFO, and there was at least 10 blinking lights, and they kept changing shape.
Occurred, the 27th of September 2008, 22 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Granger, in, USA. Shape, light duration: 2 minutes. No of observers. 6 characteristics: lights on object, 2 bright lights that dimmed fast, 2 bright lights in the sky that maintained the same distance from each other. Then they were gone.
Occurred, the 19th of September 2019, 0 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Granger, IN, USA. Shape, unknown duration. Seconds. Characteristics: animals reacted. My cat woke me up meowing. I comforted her and she settled into my side. There was an orange flash of light from outside that lit up the window. The light was outside. I grabbed my iPad to see what time it was. It was 12:39 a.m. I got out of bed to look outside. I saw nothing. It's a clear night. My husband woke up from the noise of me uplifting one of the slats of the blinds to see if anything was happening outside. My husband got out of bed to look out the windows. He thought it might be someone with a flashlight. I don't think it was a flashlight because it was too bright, filled the window, and lasted only a few seconds from the SW direction. What was strange is I didn't notice the sound of the crickets, cicadas. It was quiet. I can hear them now. The grandfather clock rang. It was 1 a.m.
Occurred, the 6th of June 2020, 21 hours 53 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, Granger, IN, USA. Shape, light duration, seconds. Know of observers. 2 light high up in the sky, passed through a small cloud and didn't come out the other side. My husband wanted to show me the strawberry moon tonight. We went outside the house but couldn't see the moon. My husband asked for my iPhone to upload the stars app to see where the moon was positioned. I was looking up and was distracted by light moving high up in the sky, too far up for it to be a plane, and there were no blinking lights. I asked my husband to look and he said it was probably a satellite. We both waited to see it again as it passed through a small cloud. It didn't pass through as expected and we didn't see it again. We both looked at each other. We found the position of the moon. It was too low to see because of the trees. He also looked to see what satellites might have been in the area or planes using an iPhone app. There were no satellites or planes in our area at that time. Direction S to E.
Occurred, the 1st of October 2022, 22 hours 20 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, Granger, IN, USA. Location details, middle of sky, somewhat close to ground and climbing. Appeared out of nowhere. Shape, fireball. Duration, 2 to 3 minutes. Know of observers. 2 possible UFO aircraft appeared suddenly and kept moving up the sky. My son and I were gazing the sky while suddenly, plain sight, a large circle that is glowing like a sunset sun just appeared in front of us and was heading north. Then it started climbing up and up. It was huge at first, then it got smaller and smaller as it kept climbing at a steady speed. I wish I had my phone at first, but when I grabbed it, it was smaller and further up in the sky. Beautiful sighting overall.
Occurred, the 21st of August 1986, 10 hours 15 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, Georgetown, IN, USA. Shape, other. Duration, 2 minutes. Know of observers. 1 strange object out of nowhere. This happened when I was 13. On Thursday night I would take the garbage out. Some nights I would just stand around afterwards for a few minutes and look at the stars. This night I was standing in my driveway when suddenly a craft appeared out of nowhere. It was no more than 125 feet from me. It hovered between 75 to 100 feet and lit up the ground beneath it very brightly. I was so scared I ran over to my neighbors and hid under a tree. The craft made a humming noise as it just hovered. I could feel this energy in the air from it. After about a minute or so, the lights dimmed drastically and the craft slowly moved away. It flew directly over my house and I got a great look at it. It was round, with a concave bottom. There were several lights underneath. It was about 40 feet tall, with a line at the halfway point. The top back of the craft was flat, and had 3 small lights, red, blue, and green. It made barely any noise as it moved away. I saw no doors, windows, propulsion system, or obvious landing gear on the craft. I believe it was a medium shade of brown, but at night it was hard to tell. The craft moved in a southeast direction as it left.
Occurred, the 10th of September 2019, 20 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, Georgetown, IN, USA. Shape, sphere. Duration, know of observers. 3 witnesses were birdwatching through binoculars, observed a round, dark object that was stationary, then went vertical. 3 witnesses were birdwatching and, through binoculars, happened to observe a round, dark object that was stationary in the evening sky. It remained at a lower altitude long enough for Individual 1 to show Individual 2 what he had seen. Individual 2 went to get Individual 3, who had a telephoto camera. By the time Individual 3 was able to get their camera, the object had ascended directly upward, as observed by Individual 1, who had continued to observe the object. At a very high altitude, a gleam could be observed at the place the object had ascended to. It may have been a star or the object reflecting light from the setting sun. Unfortunately, due to the later altitude and the fact that Individuals 1 and 2 did not have suitable cameras, no documentation took place.
Occurred, the 3rd of July 2022, 5 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, Osceola, IN, USA. Location details, eastern sky. Shape, circle. Duration, continues. Know of observers. 2 characteristics: lights on object, aura or haze around object, changed color, seeing something in sky with light, sitting in hot tub thinking I saw a twinkling star. Took a pic and enlarged it. It was not a star. It comes back, and at times more than one. I have multiple videos and pics. Could it be a satellite? It sits in the same spot without moving. Some pics won't upload to your site.